We're sending a giant thank you letter to the IRS thanking them for targeting the Tea Party and conservative groups. Okay. You want to write a quick message? Sure. I'm asking people if they want to sign my board thanking the IRS for targeting conservative Tea Party and religious organizations. Thank you letter to the IRS for targeting the Tea Party.
Oh, cool.
You want to sign my thank you letter?
Yeah, sure.
What do you think of this?
I think this is pretty rad.
Do you want to sign my giant thank you letter to the IRS?
Yeah, totally.
All right, here's a pretty this is a story you couldn't make up, as are so many of them. So, a conservative filmmaker went to a college campus recently with an enormous thank you card. And the thank you card was addressed to the IRS, and it said, "Thank you for targeting the Tea Party." And he asked students at this college to sign the card and asked them what they thought of the card. And here's what they said.
We're sending a giant thank you letter to the IRS thanking them for targeting the Tea Party and conservative groups. Okay. You want to write a quick message? Sure. I'm asking people if they want to targeting the Tea Party and conservative groups. Okay. You want to write a quick message? Sure. I'm asking people if they want to sign my board thanking the IRS for targeting conservative Tea Party and religious organizations. Do you want to sign my thank you IRS for auditing the Tea Party note?
Yes, because I think it's a big scandal, and it makes sense to prosecute the 501c3s or whatever it is.
To target them. So it's a message. Write whatever you want to the IRS. Thank you. Think of this.
That's good stuff. Tucker, you can't possibly really be surprised that college campuses are bastions of liberal thought.
Well, it's not just liberal. There's nothing liberal about that. It's totally authoritarian. It's fascist. It's using the power of the federal government to crush the president's, El Jefe's, political enemies. And if anything, you'd think college should be about freedom and diversity of views, but no, anyone who disagrees ought to be crushed, ground under the heel of government. That's what they're saying.
Yes, college campuses you'd think should be bastions of diverse thought, but as we've learned, they generally are not. And let's remember that people under 30 often, you know the old expression that if you're under 30 and you're a Republican or whatever, you have no heart. And if you're over 30 and not a Republican, you have no brain.
But there's nothing liberal about that. Like, I'm a liberal. I believe in the truest sense. I'm a classical liberal. I think you shouldn't bother people if there's not a real reason. I think you should use federal power to hurt people just because they say things you disagree with. They're not liberal at all. They're authoritarian.
Meanwhile, it's on a college campus early in the morning. Probably a lot of them are still drunk. Let's be honest.
Well, that's true. That's a really good point.
They will miss this segment. They'll never see this segment.
And by the way, I should point out this university, I think, won the #1 party school award a few years ago.
University of Colorado at Boulder?
Yes, it did. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, it was the #1 party school in the United States.
God, please don't vote. Please don't vote.